Come on in, everyone. I was running a few minutes late. Get on in here. We are still talking about this ICE situation and everything that's happening all over the country. It is in mere chaos. Chaos, extreme chaos, chaos. Can't even get it out. So we're going to jump back into that. And if you guys haven't been watching, we have been covering the story of the lady that was unalived by the ICE official. And we have talked about also that the Trump administration was forcing prosecutors to actually come out and say that the unaliving of that lady was her own fault. Well, we know that just don't make sense, and we've kind of talked about that um, extensively. But unfortunately, we are still dealing with this today, with this administration and them pretty much wreaking havoc on the nation all over. It is just one thing after the next. Now, what I want to get into here is what is going on, or what has actually, let me switch gears. Just give me a second, because I think to stay on topic, let me just give me a second here. There was an incident that occurred at a Target. I don't know if you guys are familiar with it, but the agents, a bunch of agents entered a Target. Imagine being at work. You work at Target or wherever you work, but you work in a place where, people can enter. Imagine being one of those people working at Target, doing your job, and have ICE just show up and arrest you. Well, ICE agents go in a Target and start arresting the damn workers. Y'all, this is literally out of control. Like, what in the hell is happening here? Okay. Let's get into it because this is the most craziest stuff that I've ever saw in my entire life. This is crazy. This is crazy. Look at this.
What are you doing? May. This isn't it right now. Not fucking Minneapolis. No. What? Going to ask for. You guys don't have the right.
What's your name? What's your name?
Jonathan Aguilar Garcia. I'm literally a U.S. citizen.
Give us a phone number.
U.S. citizen.
Get the fuck out of here, Race.
Why are you kidnapping a citizen?
There.
Why are you? Why?
Sir, give us your phone number. We'll call your family. Give us your phone number.
At least wait, you want your family to know?
So, guys, I don't pre-watch this and I don't know. This is too much. Imagine being at work and these people are getting crazy. What is happening here? They're saying that this was a 17-year-old. At this point, it's just, are y'all watching? This is too much. This is too much. Look how they're pushing them, shoving them. Oh my goodness. This has to stop.
I literally have my passport. My fucking passport.
Let him get out his passport.
What's your name? What's your name? We'll find your family. Christian, what's your last name?
What?
Hey, get back there now.
Give us what's the phone number we should call?
612.
We'll call you. And your first name's Christian, right? We'll call them.
Listen, I'm trying not to cuss, but what the F-U-C-K is going on here? What is going on? Are you kidding me right now? This is crazy. This is what we're dealing with, guys. And this is what I said yesterday. I said, this is serious. Like, people are not safe. This is not what they're supposed to be doing. Targeting American people, taking them away from their jobs. But Donald Trump in this raggedy administration, as I said before, they're not creating jobs. They are killing the infrastructure that we already have. Tell me, how does this contribute to our nation? How does this contribute to the society that we have built? This is not of America. Like, what is going on? This is, I don't even know what to say at this point. You're working. ICE just decide that they want to take you to jail. And also, why are they showing up in droves at Target? Get the out of Target. Like, go somewhere else. This is too much. This is crazy. Now, I'm going to bring up some more clips from different angles. So just give me a second here. So I have a few different clips second that I'm going to bring up as you know, with these videos. They're shot from different angles. So let's just see a few different ones. Give me a second here. I'm going to switch gears here. Now, this is just different angles of that same incident at Target where the ICE officials are showing up here and arresting these people at work.
Where's the shit? Christian, do you have anybody you want us to call? My mom. What's her number?
Oh, border patrol. Dude, that's some bullshit. They have border patrol.
Christian? Oh my God. You got his contact info.
Oh my God. Oh, that's sad.
Hell no.
Oh, that's Christian. He works with me in Drive Up. Christian, just be. It's okay. He's a worker. He's here working. Hey. No, it's Christian. Christian.
Oh, they took two.
What? Another one? No, Johnny's in there. Assholes.
You're an employee here, man. Stay back.
Yeah, who are you? He's an employee. Get the out of here. Oh my God. Are you sure Johnny didn't go somewhere and hide? I saw him. I passed him.
And then when they got him up, Johnny was in the red hoodie, right?
Yeah.
Johnny was in there too.
He has his passport on him.
I was going to ask you what happened.
Oh my goodness, guys. This is crazy. Like, I don't even know. I have no words. Like, what are we supposed to say here? These people are abusing power. This is not what they're supposed to do. Like, literally abuse of power. And this is why they are currently now investigating these ICE people, because it is believed that some of these ICE officials could very well be some of this January 6th insurrectioners. Okay. And this is why I'm on here telling y'all what's going on, because I feel like we need to get this information out. And this is terrible. Like, this is Donald Trump in his administration. Now, I have a few more clips. They're really short clips. Like I said earlier, you know how it works when people record different things. They're from different angles. Now, here's another angle here.
Oh, that's Christian. He works with me in Drive Up. Christian, just be. It's okay. He's a worker. He's here.
So guys, I was able to read some more information, and we'll just read the information. This is what they're saying, that this was a 17-year-old that he was arrested. Now, as you guys can see, he is being arrested. I don't know if you guys have ever been arrested, but even if you haven't been arrested, you know that even when you're arrested, they say, this is why you're arrested. This kid, 17 years old, was never even told as far as why he was arrested. They're also saying that in other reports, they indicate that this boy was beaten, bloodied, and then released at a Walmart. So why was he released if he was under arrest? Furthermore, they're saying that this boy was beaten and bloodied. These are thug criminals, okay? These are not immigration officers. These are clearly thugs, okay? These are thugs and these are criminals. And I would not be surprised if these people are not the January 6th insurrectioners, because this is not law enforcement. This is not how this works. So you're telling me the thug ICE agents are going around finding or, deciding who the hell they should arrest and beat up and then drop them off at a Walmart? I'm confused. Is this some kind of MAGA cult? I mean, are they like, what is going on here? Like, why is this so unorganized? And tell me, why would ICE think that it is okay, even though we can see that they have little brains? Nobody wants 70 ICE officers to show up at Target. Like, why are you here? This doesn't even make any sense. I'm very, very confused. It seems like this is random acts of violence. Random acts of violence. You are arresting these people. You don't have reason, and then you're dropping them off at a Walmart, and reports are saying that this kid was beaten. Donald Trump needs to be arrested and put in jail for the remainder of his life. He is a terrorist of this country. Like, look at what he's creating. Look at what Donald Trump has created.
Two U.S. citizens. There was no warrant and no stated reason, and they were treated like criminals on the spot. Their valid IDs or passports meant nothing. The two individuals were at work when they were suddenly restrained by officers. The entire process was fast and aggressive, as if deliberately timed to catch them completely off guard. Witnesses said they looked very
Okay, just give me a second. I'm just finding different clips. Like I said originally, there are different clips from different angles. I'm just seeing if there is more. Let's just see. Yeah, so from what I'm gathering, there were a couple of a couple of citizens, and they are being reported. I'm just looking different places. Keep in mind that this is being reported by different individuals, but they're saying on a few different places that they were beaten. So you are arresting people, beating them up, and this is supposed to be order and law. It looks to be that the people that Donald Trump has hired to be ICE, maybe they are some kind of criminals, because something is just not adding up here. Something is just not adding up. Not adding up. Here's another one. Give me a second. Just give me a second here. I'm going to share my screen. Oh my gosh. Somebody just put in the chat. They arrested my friend for trying to purchase a pion, and he was in jail for 30 days. I don't know what to say. I'm speechless. Like, this is like we're living in a third world country. Like, what the hell is going on? Donald Trump, he has to go. He needs to go. He needs to be arrested. He's not doing anything. Donald Trump is creating the chaos. For one, I mean, everybody seems to forget, and because it's so much going on, it's so much stuff to report on, that it's just a lot. Donald Trump has created this shit because, for one, he wants to distract from the Epstein files. There's so much going on. Imagine trying to put something together to come on YouTube and talk about all of this. It's so much going on. It's like, what is the area of focus here? Like, there's so much going on. But the number one thing is Donald Trump wants to distract from these Epstein files. If you guys recall, that was the latest thing we were talking about. And now this happened, and now everybody is talking about ICE. It's just one thing after another. Like I said, it's just hard to focus your attention on anything because it's so much going on. So let me share from another angle. Let's give me a second here. This one is a little short as well.
Hang on. Hang on. What are you doing? May.
This isn't it right now. Not fucking Minneapolis. Where is anybody
No.
else
What?
going to ask for? You guys don't have the right.
What's your name? What's your name?
Jonathan Aguilar Garcia. I'm literally a U.S. citizen.
Give us a phone number.
U.S. citizen. Get the fuck out of here, Ray.
Why are you kidnapping a citizen? Why are you? Why?
Sir, give us your phone number. We'll call your family. Give us your phone number.
At least Wait, you want your family to know?
I literally have my passport.
Let him get out his passport.
What's your name? What's your name? We'll find your family. Christian, what's your last name?
Hey! Get back there now!
Give us what's the phone number we should call?
612.
I'm gonna call you. And your first name's Christian, right? We'll call them.
This is sick. This is sick. Absolutely sick. This is disgusting. Like, I mean, this is even hard to watch. Like, this is hard to watch. This is what a pedo president with 36, 34 felonies is doing to the country. And you people say he's doing a good job? Well, some crazies are out there thinking that this man is doing a great job. What is he doing but stealing money, distracting from the Epstein files, and wreaking havoc? Because Donald Trump knows that when he brings his raggedy ass out of the White House, that he's going to prison for the rest of his life. But rather than have that happen to him, he gonna wreak havoc for the next 3 years. I'm not sure what you people were thinking about when you voted for a PEDO president. I just don't understand what you were thinking of when you voted for him. This is the same man that was in office before that told people to inject bleach under their skin to get rid of what was that? The virus. This is the same lunatic. Donald Trump is the same lunatic that was here before. So there's nothing new about Donald Trump. He's the same scam artist that was in New York scamming people for various things. And then he's racist. He's racist. These people are looking at people, categorizing them to be, Mexicans or whatever their race is that's not white, and they are arresting these people. And you know what the most disgusting part about this is? You actually have ICE officers. They're not white. They're of another nationality, but they're sitting there allowing this shit to happen. We are in a messed up situation, okay? This is messed up. I don't know how messed up it can be. It's just terrible. Now, on top of that, we have 6 Minnesota prosecutors that quit. You want to know why they quit? They quit because Donald Trump and his corrupt, if you haven't figured out that Donald Trump and his administration is corrupt, I don't know what rock you've been sleeping under, okay? So Donald Trump and his corrupt administration wants these prosecutors to lie, because we know that is what Donald Trump does absolutely great, is tell lies, okay? Now, that's something that he's doing a very good job with, telling damn lies. So Donald Trump wants these prosecutors to lie and say the woman that was unalived, it was her fault. So let's get into that, because we have now 6 prosecutors that has pretty much walked away from their jobs because they don't want to deal with the felon pedo president, none other than Donald Trump.
Prosecutors in Minnesota are resigning in protest of how the Trump administration is handling last week's ICE-involved shooting in which an ICE agent killed 37-year-old Renee Nicole Good. This includes Joe Thompson, who served as acting U.S. attorney in Minnesota. A source says this follows days of pressure to focus the DOJ investigation not on the actions of the ICE agent who shot and killed Renee Good, but to focus the investigation on Good and others around her. The New York Times reporting this includes Good's widow. And indeed, Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche today released a statement saying that the Justice Department does not believe there's evidence to back a criminal investigation into the ICE officer. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz called the resignations a huge loss, writing on X, quote, "It's also the latest sign that Trump is pushing nonpartisan career professionals out of the Justice Department, replacing them with his stance," unquote. Thompson, by the way, the acting U.S. attorney, previously led the office's effort to tackle social services fraud in the state. That's an issue that's high on the Trump administration's priority list. We're learning other resignations are also possible as prosecutors weigh how to respond to this pressure from their superiors in Washington, D.C. At the same time, protests in Minneapolis continue to escalate. Today, law enforcement agents fired pepper balls as crowds blew whistles and shouted, "ICE out now." CNN crews on the scene say agents surged into the area with at least 15 different large SUVs. As agents returned to their vehicles, flashbangs were also fired at the crowd of protesters. Some protesters seen throwing snowballs at agents. This is, of course, Minnesota in January. Around 1,000 more U.S. Customs and Border Protection agents are expected to deploy to Minneapolis. That's on top of 2,000 federal agents deployed to the area already. In a long Truth Social post earlier today, President Trump defended ICE agents, writing, quote, "Fear not, great people of Minnesota, the day of reckoning."
Oh, let's get into this post. This is what the felon pedo president that some people elected. Now, we have a woman that has died. We have people that are, protesting, that's getting sprayed in the face, eyes burned out for standing there to protest. But of course, when you have a felon pedo president in the White House who he don't care. I mean, when you have a man that goes around and okays the abuse of children, of course he doesn't care. He doesn't care. So this is what he had to say on his raggedy post. Do the people, and I'm just going to read this straight. I've read this previously, and he should maybe go take a writing class, but let's carry on. Do the people, interesting. Do the people of Minnesota really want to live in a community in which there are thousands of already convicted murderers, drug dealers, addicts, rapists, violent, released, and escaped prisoners? This guy cannot write to save his life. Dangerous people from foreign mental institutions and insane asylums. Well, we know that Donald Trump needs to be in somebody's mental institution. And it's very, crazy how he calls out convicted people as if he's not one himself. And then he goes on to call out rapists as if he wasn't convicted of being one himself. This dude is crazy. And other deadly criminals, too dangerous to even mention. I mean, is that a sentence? It's like all over the place. All the patriots of ICE want to do, again, he doesn't know how to write a sentence, is remove them from your neighborhoods and send them back to the prisons and mental institutions from where they came, comma. He doesn't know how to write a complete sentence. He doesn't know where to put a comma, where to put a period, but let's carry on. Most in foreign countries who illegally enter the USA through Sleepy Joe Biden's, well, listen, I would rather have Sleepy Joe sleeping right now than what we are going through as a country. Horrible. Open borders policy. Again, he doesn't know where to put a period. He doesn't know where to start a sentence, but let's carry on. But this is the president who, my son can write a complete sentence. And this man is how old? This is too much. I'm having a problem even following this. Every place we go, crime comes down. I'm not sure if he's adding in the crime of these officers. I mean, you just unalived a lady, so I'm not sure how the crime is going down. In Chicago, despite a weak and incompetent governor and mayor fighting us all the way, a big improvement was made. Thousands of criminals were removed and a lady was killed. Minnesota Democrats love the unrest. So how is it that Minnesota Democrats love the unrest when he has created it? Like, you created this. This man is really, really an idiot. Just a complete idiot. Like, you can probably get a kid out of high school that can run the country better than him. But this is what they captured. Fear not, great people of Minnesota. The day of reckoning and retribution is coming. A toddler in the White House. An entire toddler, criminal, thug, PEDO. This is who's running the country. So if you guys have learned nothing else, because we have never had a president that I was living for, that utilized the presidency as this man has done, which he's used it to go after his enemies. And like he says, retribution, because he's used it to go after people he don't like. Instead of working for the people that elected him, he has used the presidency to go after people. And he said it right here. Fear not, great people of Minnesota. The day of reckoning and retribution is coming. So let's pick it up there.
And retribution is coming, unquote. Let's get right to CNN's Ryan Young, who's on the ground in Minneapolis. And Ryan, you and your crew were caught in the middle of some of the unrest this afternoon. Tell us about it.
Yeah, we were caught right in the middle of that, Jake. But right before I tell you about that, I want to show you this scene right here. This is the people who are left outside the federal building. These folks are still angry and energized. They've been yelling at the federal cars that go by. They've been trying to take video of the people inside those cars. But let us show you this video from earlier today. This is what we saw. We saw the whistles. We heard people screaming. When we ran that direction, we saw this ICE action happening. We saw flashbangs, and they used irritant to try to disperse this crowd. It happened so suddenly. Hundreds of agents in this crowd trying to wrestle certain people out of their cars. At some point, we saw at least 3 people being detained. But at the same time, these federal agents were spraying themselves with that irritant. So we saw several agents getting sprayed with that irritant, trying to react to it, as these protesters, some using their bodies to try to stop them from making the arrest. We talked about the snowballs. They definitely used that to try to stop them. And there were people who physically tried to jump on some of the cars that the agents were using to try to get away from that neighborhood. After that, though, this area that was near where that shooting happened with Renee Good, it went back to being peaceful, but it was energized with more people coming and surging into the neighborhood. This is, though, the federal building where a lot of people feel those agents are. You can see them standing, some in the street, some trying to block traffic. And when they do see people they believe are ICE agents, they sometimes physically try to step into the street to stop them as well.
These agents are thugs. He turned right around and sprayed this guy in the face. Now, this guy has a right to protest peacefully. Why did you turn around and spray this guy right dead in his face? I'm telling you, they're doing an investigation because people talk. They're trying to say that these people that Donald Trump has hired as ICE, they're saying that these people could possibly be the January 6th insurrectioners. And if you see the way that they're responding to people, there is no love. It is only chaos. And like Donald Trump said in his post, retribution. They're coming after the people. Something is wrong with this. So they're, like I said, they're doing an investigation. Will that investigation uncover exactly what we have thought? Are these ICE agents January 6th insurrectioners?
But today's action, I can tell you, Jake, was the most energized and physically aggressive that we've seen from both sides, with the hundreds of agents surging into a neighborhood today, people running in the alleys to try to get away from the situation. So many questions about what happens next. Let's not forget, more federal agents in the area now than police officers on the street.
All right, Ryan Young, thanks so much. Let's discuss all of this with CNN's Priscilla Alvarez, who covers immigration issues expertly for us, and CNN senior legal analyst Ellie Honig. Ellie, let me start with you. At least 6 top prosecutors resigning in Minnesota. The New York Times reports it's because they felt they were pressured to investigate the widow of Renee Nicole Good, the woman that was shot and killed by the ICE officer last week. What's your take on that?
Jake, if that proves out, it's an utter outrage. If the Department of Justice has chosen to focus their investigation not on the actions of the officer, not on the actions of Renee Good at the scene of the fatal shooting, but rather on the widow of the deceased, that is indefensible. First of all, whatever the widow of Renee Good may have done, what her associations may have been, is completely and totally irrelevant to the question of whether this was a justified legal self-defense shooting by the ICE officer. Second of all, prosecutors get leads on cases from all different places. Sometimes a cooperator or an informant will give you leads. Sometimes you'll read a story in the newspaper. But to get a lead based on a person who was fatally shot and say, now let's look at that person's widow to see if they broke the law, it's utterly indefensible. And I think it lends context to why these prosecutors chose to resign.
Well, the White House press secretary referred to the deceased, Renee Good, as a, quote, deranged lunatic. So it's not as though empathy is in excess supply over at the White House. Priscilla, what do you know about what's happening behind the scenes at the Department of Homeland Security?
Yeah, Jake, look, there's mixed emotions at the Department of Homeland Security among these agents. Some are frustrated with this operation, with this mission. Others support it. And I'm talking here about the 3,000 now agents who have deployed to Minneapolis from all over the country. The 2 agencies that I'm talking about here are Immigration and Customs Enforcement, involved in that shooting last week, and U.S. Customs and Border Protection. Now, I am told that they are doing targeted operations in Minneapolis, meaning that they know who they're going after. But these are 2 agencies who have had simmering feuds and tensions over the years. And if people are noticing that there's different tactics on the ground in Minneapolis, the reason is because each of these agencies tend to take a different approach in how they do immigration enforcement. For example, CBP, typically on the U.S.-Mexico border. So it creates this confusing situation and can lend itself to those feuds reigniting in the city at a time when there are thousands of officers there. But I do want to note, Jake, we should take a step back here, because what is remarkable about what was happening in Minneapolis and Minnesota is that this is the president's immigration vision centering in one place. Take it in totality. You have stripping federal funds, or the threat to do that, the threat to denaturalize the Somali nationals that are in Minnesota, flooding the zone with.
Okay, guys, I wanted to jump in there for a moment because to kind of add some context to what she was saying. Now, Donald Trump also said, keep in mind, he's all about retribution and going after anybody that he's mad at, because he's a real 7-year-old. I mean, at least his brain is. Donald Trump has threatened to cut off funds for the people that live in Minnesota. So let me kind of break that down. And what does that mean? So what he has said is he's going to cut off any public assistance to the people of Minnesota. Now, what does this have to do with anything? Because Donald Trump is a toddler. He is running the country, and now he is threatening people because in his 7-year-old brain, he is mad. Now, what would this mean? This would mean that they would actually have to, again, file lawsuits against this 36, 34 felon. I don't remember how many felonies he has. It's just too many to keep up with. But this is the idiot that's running the country.
Agents sending more prosecutors to prosecute those U.S. citizens who are impeding on law enforcement. If you look at everything that the administration is doing, this is the playbook that they have wanted since the early days, and that they are now doing in Minneapolis, and what they want to continue doing in other blue cities.
Ellie, this is the latest instance.
I hope you all heard that. If you didn't, let me give you some more context on what she said. She said it a little bit quickly, but Let me just rewind it a little bit because I want you guys to hear that part again of what she said. And then I'll stop it because it went fast, but let's rewind it.
That the administration is doing. This is the playbook that they have wanted since the early days and that they are now doing in Minneapolis and what they want to continue doing in other blue cities.
Okay, that's where I want to pick up from. As I have said before, this is not about what this crazy man say, order and law. This is about Democrats and Republicans, and this is about Donald Trump wanting to continue to steal money for himself. And the only way that he can do it is to keep things as they are. So what this man is doing is he is wreaking havoc in any state that is considered a Democrat-led state. So tell me, why is this okay? Tell me, how is this okay? Tell me, how in the hell is this even allowed? He's not doing this because he wants to get the illegal criminals out the country. Oh, we want to arrest these illegal rapists and all of this. Those are lies. Again, the only thing Donald Trump does great is tell lies, okay? This is about him wanting to remain in power. How does he do that? Create havoc in Democrat-run states. So now you scare the people. They don't come out and vote. This is what it's all about, guys. This has nothing to do with Donald Trump trying to fix anything, but it has everything to do with him breaking everything. If he can break enough things, everything will be in disarray. People won't vote, and it will become worse. We got to get this thug pedo out of the White House. He has to go.
Ellie, this is the latest instance of the Justice Department.
Prosecutors to prosecute those U.S. citizens who are impeding on law enforcement. If you look at everything that the administration is doing, this is the playbook that they have wanted since the early days and that they are now doing in Minneapolis and what they want to continue doing in other blue cities.
Ellie, this is the latest instance of the Justice Department and the FBI continuing to hemorrhage experienced veterans and career prosecutors because of the way they are doing business. We remember when there were those mass resignations after that deal, that sketchy deal with Mayor Eric Adams was struck. All those prosecutors in New York just resigned because they didn't like what was being done. What does this mass resignation, these 6 prosecutors in Minnesota, what does that say to you?
Well, Jake, just for perspective, the entire U.S. Attorney's Office for the District of Minnesota has about 70 prosecutors. So when the number 2 person and 6 total prosecutors resign, that's 10% of that office leaving in protest in one fell swoop. And broader perspective here, if you think of the loss of talent and experience that's happened at DOJ, people who've been fired or pushed out over the last year. You mentioned the Eric Adams case. Several experienced prosecutors left then. Prosecutors were forced out over their refusal to indict Jim Comey and Letitia James in the Eastern District of Virginia. You had prosecutors, anyone who touched the Jack Smith prosecution was fired. Anyone, FBI agent or U.S. attorney who worked on a January 6th prosecution has been pushed out. So we're talking about dozens upon dozens of prosecutors, hundreds of experienced FBI.
Wanted to jump in there, guys. Again, I said that this president is about retribution, getting back at people. He doesn't give a damn about running the country. He's a 7-year-old kid. You guys did hear what they just said. Anybody that prosecuted January 6ers, all of those people were pushed out. Like, if Donald Trump was really here to do what he said with his lying ass, because that's all he does is lie, then why is all of these things happening? Why come Donald Trump can't lower the price of the food like he told y'all? Why come he can't create these jobs like he said? Instead, tons of people have been fired. People can't afford their food. Medical costs is going up. I want to know one thing that Donald Trump has done for you all.
agents. And DOJ is no different than any other organization, whether you're talking about a law firm, a bank, a media organization, a football team. If you lose that much talent all at once, it's gone.
Yep, pretty much. If you lose that much talent, what is going to happen to the organization? Well, we know Donald Trump doesn't care because it'll be a free for all for him to create, to continue to, steal money, because that's exactly what he's doing. And I have done videos on that previously. Now, let's get into these Target employees, okay? Because what is being reported is that they were injured. They were, beaten up. This is just terrible. So let's kind of get into that, switch gears here. And if you guys just joined and you don't know what I'm talking about, actually, let me show you this video. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about because you just joined the video, ICE officials stormed Target, arrested one of them was a kid, took him to jail. They said these young men, one was a 17-year-old boy, okay? They're saying that they were beaten up.
What are
you doing? May.
This isn't it right now. Not fucking Minneapolis.
No. What?
Going to ask for. You guys don't have the right.
What's your name? What's your name?
Jonathan Aguilar Garcia. I'm literally a U.S. citizen.
Give us a phone number.
U.S. citizen. Get the fuck out of here, Ray.
Why are you kidnapping a citizen? Why are you? Why?
Sir, give us your phone number. We'll call your family. Give us your phone number.
At least wait, you want your family to know?
I literally have my passport.
Let him get out his passport.
What's your name? What's your name? We'll find your family. Christian, what's your last name?
Hey! Get back there now!
Give us what's the phone number we should call?
612.
I'm gonna call you. And your first name's Christian, right? Okay, we'll call them.
Okay, so I wanted to show that video for people who may have just joined and you don't know what I'm talking about. So two employees that, you work and doing your job, because ICE is a bunch of damn thugs. They decided that it would be a great idea to just go in Target and arrest people. Now, information is coming in that possibly ICE is being ran by MAGA, because why did those ICE officials show up at Target? Isn't that weird that they showed up at Target and grabbed out two individuals, looked to be, I don't know what their race is, but we know that they are not white people, okay? Because all Donald Trump does is arrest the non-white people, okay? Because he is a racist, okay? Donald Trump is a racist, so let's not forget that. So these ICE thugs that we believe is January 6th insurrectioners showed up at Target and arrested these, one being a boy because he was 17 years old, and then another individual. And it is being reported that they were dumped off at a Walmart and they were beaten and they were bloodied. So let's get into that here. Just give me a moment. 1 second here.
ICE agents detaining people across the state, and one of them has sparked an intense backlash that we've been reporting on, reportedly showing agents detaining two employees at a Target store in Richfield. Ian talked to the man who took the video and has the latest on where those workers are tonight.
You doing all right?
Huh? I'm not doing all right.
Chaotic moments at the Richfield Target last week.
You good? What's that? You good?
As Border Patrol Commander Greg Bovino and federal agents stopped in.
Hey, you guys American citizens?
Huh? None of your business.
The encounter.
So these guys are at work. you come up here and say, are you guys American citizens? What I'm confused. I thought that this was some kind of organized effort. You mean to tell me you don't know who the hell you're targeting? You're just walking up to people, as long as they don't look white white and pale. If they don't look white, okay, they possibly can be from somewhere else. Are you an American citizen?
Are captured on cell phones by bystanders as back and forth turns to two Target employees being tackled and detained.
You or what?
Look at that. Look, they're grabbing him. Look, they're grabbing him.
As one
Well, to me, it looks like this guy, again, can't control his anger. People can film. Like, it is not illegal for people to film. I'm going out today to get my damn Meta glasses because you got to have another way to film these days. This ICE officer thug, who could be a January 6th insurrectionist, attacked him because he was filming. Okay, guys, this is serious. Donald Trump, the PEDO president, with his 36, 34 felonies, this is what he's doing to the country, y'all. This is what he's doing. This is what Donald Trump is doing.
One video ends.
Christian, do you have anybody you want us to call? My mom.
Others begin as one of the men shouts that he's a citizen.
Leave him alone. Leave him alone. Get out of your ice.
And then they put
This is no, it's not unbelievable. This is what Donald Trump is doing. Now, for some people who don't give a damn about other people, just know that this can be you, this can be your cousin, this can be your friend. This is not okay. Like, we don't just snatch people off the damn street and throw them in a damn van, okay? This is not the way that it's supposed to happen.
him in the car.
Mike Trench was on his way to Target for groceries when he saw those federal agents, deciding to pull out his phone and record.
It was abhorrent. It was terrible. The manager was super upset. She was screaming. She was as loud as she could be. She got right up to him when they were putting him in the car and just said, I have their documents.
Two employees were detained. State Representative Michael Howard says he's spoken to them and they've both since been released.
So you guys following this, I know they're saying things kind of fast, so I'm going to jump in there and stop it. So the manager said, I have their documents, but you still took them in, guys. I want you to understand, this is not about illegals. This is not about Donald Trump cleaning up America. Donald Trump is a thug, pedo president who hired a bunch of thugs. We think that they're January 6th insurrectioners to snatch people off the streets that they don't agree with, that may look a different color. Because first of all, this entire thing started when this kid, because he's 17, was filming them. Like, if you are doing the right thing, why are you mad because people are filming you? Like, we live in a society where people literally take their camera and go out and create content for a living. You know what I mean? So you arresting him, throwing him to the ground, and you say you're arresting him because you think he's not a citizen. When he said, I have my papers, the manager comes out to say, hey, I have their documents, but you still take them in the van. This is not about, guys, cleaning up the world, because we got all these bad people there. You know why? Because we have a bad president. We have a president that protects people that harm children because he did it himself, okay? We have a president with 36 felonies who's a felon, who's a thug, he's a scammer, and he don't have a problem with people harming you, regular tax-paying citizens.
I can tell you that they are U.S. citizens. They were injured during this violent arrest.
Homeland Security said on X that one person was arrested for, quote, assaulting federal law enforcement officers. Howard.
Okay, now the lies, okay? They took it there. We can't believe shit these people say. So they were arrested. Where did they assault a federal law enforcement officer? These people make up shit as they go along. Now he was arrested for assault. That's crazy because he was recording. So the assault would have been recorded. What we saw was him recording, and then we saw the ICE official took him down. So they create these lies to fit their narratives and their agenda.
Disagrees with that.
Border Control's account saying that they assaulted agents is what I would say is folks can believe their own eyes. Plenty of video that showed these workers violently being arrested. Greg Bavino himself is the one that asked these workers, are you U.S. citizens?
Howard says he understands some online saying these actions come after verbal insults were thrown at agents, but says that doesn't warrant treatment like this.
Because someone said a naughty word, that allows them to brutalize United States citizens for expressing their constitutional right. That falls.
And what did I just say? I just said that this is not about arresting people who's breaking the law. This is about you not being able to say what you want to say, because we live in America, and that is how we are able to thrive, because people are able to state their opinion, just like I'm stating mine, okay? So you arrested this 17-year-old, threw him to the ground, you arrested him, and then you say, oh, we're arresting you because you may not be a citizen. But then the manager said, listen, I have their papers. They said they had their papers. And now, since that didn't work and the world has saw this damn video, now they assaulted an officer. Really? These people cannot be trusted.
Equivalency is...
We can't trust them. We can't trust them.
The gap is unbelievable.
Why are you kidnapping our
Howard says his understanding is that one of the men was dropped off hours later in a nearby Walmart parking lot.
In both instances are just
Very interesting. And I said this earlier, that it was being reported that they were beat up and dropped off in a Walmart parking lot. What is going on here? So, you know what this was? This was a kidnapping. This wasn't an arrest. This was a kidnapping. I mean, have you ever been arrested, or if you know someone that ever got arrested, do the police pick you up in their car and then drop you off in a parking lot? What is going on here? Like, what is going on here? Like, this is not how we operate as USA. So they were arrested and then dropped off. So that was a regular old kidnapping is what that was. That was an actual kidnapping. That wasn't an arrest. So arrested and dropped off at a Walmart parking lot.
Sort of terrifying and egregious situation.
Now, I have reached out to Target for a comment on this, and Jana, I know you have as well, but we've been told that there is no statement coming from the company on ICE activity. Jana?
Yeah, Ian, just a simple no comment. And so the young men are out of custody, no charges, nothing?
Yeah, I asked Howard what the current situation is with them, because he's the one who's kind of been working with them and speaking with them. He says they're both out of custody right now. Obviously, we heard the situations with them, one with the dropped off at that Walmart, the other one detained for a long time as well, but both are out right now.
All right. And one of the things that we have covered, and maybe you got to this and there's so much going on, but, questions about, people are asking questions about can DHS go into these stores, or ICE or Border Patrol? And the answer is a little bit complicated, but it's yes.
Yeah. I know you and I have talked a little bit about this, but yes, I mean, it's sort of this quasi-public private space as well.
Now, another thing that you guys need to, pay attention to is they did not mention these individuals that were arrested. They did not mention the injuries. And you guys, y'all got to be careful when you're watching this news, because they are not telling you everything. And that was one of the reasons why I said, you know what, I'm just going to start making it regular to just come on here and kind of give you guys the updates that I know about, because unfortunately, Donald Trump has weaponized his administration against these larger media companies. So what you're seeing is they're scared of Donald Trump, because I had to learn this myself. I didn't know when you are, let's say, Fox News, okay, you actually have to get approval to be able to operate, okay? And the approval comes from who? The president. So Donald Trump has weaponized these companies, and they're just afraid to say anything about Donald Trump, because if they do, what can happen? Donald Trump can make sure that they do not and cannot operate. Okay. So, because, Donald Trump is weaponizing his administration, unfortunately, the larger media is not reporting on a lot of the things that's happening. Now, for me, I actually follow a much larger political channel, which helps me to find my information. But I'm gonna encourage you guys to go here on YouTube and find you a content creator. If I'm not the one, because hey, you don't gotta choose me. You can choose somebody else too. That's okay. But what I would like for you guys to do is get the real information. You're not going to get it on Fox News. You're not going to get it on these large media networks, unfortunately, because they don't want to lose their ability to operate. And unfortunately, like I said, Donald Trump has, he has weaponized his administration to force people to do things that they might not ordinarily want to do. As you guys saw, Target didn't really speak out and say anything with regards to, they spoke out with regards to their employees being arrested, but they really didn't have a statement with regards to ICE coming there. And it's probably because they are afraid. Now, make sure you guys come back. I will be back at 5:30 p.m. I am actually on Eastern time. Yeah, so I'll see you guys then, and make it a great day.